I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I want to share part of my experiences in life with you. And that's the challenges and the advantages of early marriage. I married at 26. My wife was 24. That was the year I went for National Youth Service in the then Imo states that was split into Imo and Abia states. I left Aba to Warri for the marriage ceremony. I married before I became a Christian. I wasn't a Christian, I wasn't a believer. I was not attending church. And these are the challenges I faced. Number one, finances. I didn't have money. And the title of being a doctor, the title was bigger than my pocket. And so they expected a lot from me. My in-laws, they didn't know me apart from my wife's eldest sister. So they were putting unnecessary demands at one time until they saw me and they realized that this man could run away if he is scared, because my wife was already pregnant. I had only 54 naira or 45 naira in my account then. The figures are 5 and 4. I don't know which one came first. And the account was domiciled in the New Nigerian Bank. And I had to buy everything from cola nuts to drinks to the clothes I wore and some of the clothes my wife wore. The food we ate, I bought as an NYC member. So it was stressful, very, very stressful, extremely stressful. But God helped me. I had to work extra hard. I will share that in the next video. And because I married early, and most of my mates had not married, and they were not yet financially stable, you can't blame them. They were not yet financially stable. We all left school around the same time, so they didn't have much to contribute. And so everything was on my head. But I still have the record of the expenditure after 40 years. December 5th will make it 40 years. And I spent 3,100 naira. That's the equivalent of $6,200 as at today. $6,200 as at today. It's a lot of money. So I didn't have, money will be a big challenge if you don't come from a wealthy home, if you don't come from, if you are not a footballer, you are not a sportsman, you are not an entertainer, you are not a content creator that has crossed a certain limit. So there was also financial challenges in caring for the child, because there was no person, but the child needed to be catered for. Thank God for where I was working with Dr. Wankwo, the Ngwaman, that is married to a Russian, in the Aba Health Office. There were some things privileges I enjoyed. There was a bus that would come and carry me, one driver called Emeka, would come and carry me from home, take me to work. That reduced a lot of pressure. And things were very cheap. Things were very cheap. 10 cups of gari, I think it was 1 naira. Things were extremely cheap. When we buy gari or vegetables, we tell them it's enough, it's enough. Things were extremely cheap. If you don't have finances and you need to carry a wife and a child, it can retard your progress. It can retard your progress if you marry early. The next challenge we had was inexperience. I didn't grow up with any child at home. I was the last child. My wife had a little bit of experience because she was a nurse as at that time. But I would go to work. It's exciting, very exciting. I would go to work. I would run back home to come and look at my baby. Look at the baby. One of the days, the baby made like this. After the baby was sleeping, I didn't know babies behave like that. I had not lived with a baby. You can go to the pediatric ward, but you don't reside with the babies. I said, this child has tetanus. Where did tetanus come from? I started running all over the place. It was just natural that children sometimes, when they sleep, they dream and they make such movements. Inexperience. But thank God for my sister-in-law, my wife's eldest sister. She came the first few weeks, a month of having that baby, and she helped us to take care of that baby. Inexperience. Then the next thing is uncertainty. You don't know what is going to happen to you in life. You don't know where you are heading to. The other thing is that your friends have their own challenges. They are struggling to gain job, employment, struggling to settle down. They are struggling to relocate, and such people might not have time for you. My brothers abandoned me. For them, being a medical doctor, married to a nurse, you should be able to take care of yourself. So I had this sense of abandonment and loneliness. And then I had the challenge of taking care of 2 paralyzed parents. One had spinal cord injury, my father. Then my mother had stroke, and they were old. And I had an immediate elder brother that was mentally retarded. So I was struggling to take care of a wife and a child. I was also struggling to take care of 2 parents and a brother at home. It was not easy. But what did it do to me? It gave me a sense of maturity and responsibility. I suddenly found out that I was a father, I was a husband, and very, very pleasant or advantageous to me was that I got born again around that same period. So a sense of responsibility. I was able to separate myself from the excitement of youthfulness very early. And I started thinking about family and future very early. It helped me greatly. But at the same time, I was not geographically mobile. I could not go to the US. I could not go to the UK because I had a wife and a child. And moving was not easy. When you think of moving, the Robos have a saying that that an animal that has children, younger ones, that it is difficult for it to run fast. And so I couldn't emigrate when my mates were emigrating. At the same time, the catering for a wife and a child might prevent you from advancing career-wise, career that is based on examinations, like in medical practice. You needed to do primaries, do this, do that. And my focus was on the family. And I told myself that since I will not be able to pursue these 2 goals at the same time, my children would do what I could not do. Thank God today I have a son that is a surgeon and a trauma specialist in Germany. So, but another advantage is you bond yourself and your wife if she is reasonable and if you are reasonable. We being left alone, I knew how to wash nappies, I knew how to napkin a baby. We didn't have diapers then. Napkin a baby, clean up a baby, take care of a baby, and in the process we were bonding. And then there was this youthful friendship that we cultivated. So the marriage was not very formal. That is, I'm the boss, I'm the husband. No. We're just friends. We had a common challenge. We had a beautiful son that we'll cater for. And the euphoria of boyfriend, girlfriend was able to continue. If not, in some cases, the challenges, the financial challenges, the challenges of rearing a child could kill that early childhood friendship. Because we started early, she was 19, I was 21. And there was one particular incident. The local government sold chickens to us from their poultry. I think it was 5 naira. And I was allocated 2. So we slaughtered them, dressed them, then we fried them. That was Christmas period. My wife fried them and kept them in the kitchen. That was number 24, Opolomo Road. It used to be Grandel Clinic. I will run there, take a piece of chicken, go to the balcony, eat, and come back to her as if I never ate anything. She too would take and eat. Then after some time, she noticed that the thing was decreasing faster than she used to leave it. Then she asked me, "You dey go there, go take chicken too? Whether do you go there to take chicken?" Then I asked her, "Do you also go there to take chicken?" We discovered that 2 of us were mutually going there to pick chickens, pieces of chicken to eat. It was exciting. We were able to bond. We were able to have a sense of unity. We were able to practice frugality, practice extreme frugality. We managed whatever we had to go to the next level. It was extreme frugality. And so don't tell another man's story on his behalf. You could not be criticizing me for not being a giver, that I'm too prudent or stingy. You didn't know I had a big title, but you didn't know what I was going through. You didn't know the ropes tying me with my title. And so we bonded. Then the next thing is that you are still young, so there's the availability of energy to cater for your children. That time, I could work in several clinics. I'll come to that in the next video, just to cater for my wife and my child, my eldest son. Your children also, if you marry early, they grow up to become like your friends, companions. So the age difference between them and I and us was not much. Like my eldest son, by 2026, he should be 40, and I will be 67. So we discussed, and the children came in quick succession because I was always going to Jerusalem because I had a beautiful wife. Came in quick succession. 86, 87, 88. Ah, boy. I looked at myself one day and said, "What are you doing?" I had to give 8 years gap to 96. Thank God, God helped us. My wife is AS. I am AS. We don't have sicklers. Most of the children are, only, I think one is AA. The rest are AS. And so, I had enough energy. I was able to take risks to work and train these children. If I had them later in life, it would have been more difficult. So, how did we cope? We coped because of unity of purpose. Any income we had belonged to two of us. We worked in the same places apart from the health office. Grandel Clinic, she was paid a certain stipend. I was paid at when we went to Royal Hospital, number 4 Popo Road. I was paid 1,500. She was paid 500 naira, so 2,000 naira. We would hold on to our 500 naira and depend on the 1,500 naira that I had to have aspirational income, take care of parents. And I was able to save prudently that in 2 years, by the expiration of my contract, I was able to open my own practice, private practice. So I saved prudently and things were cheap. I got a loan from New Nigerian Bank that I added, and that's the last loan I ever took in my life. So, from a bank, unity of purpose, then we minded our own life. We didn't compare ourselves with people. We were managing what we had, dressing with what we had, eating what we could manage. We'll buy the pancreas and the lungs. When you cook the meal is blackish because of the blood that has congealed. We go to Ahiudele, go to Ahiunkwo, we buy, cook. Nobody knew what we were eating. We managed the clothing we had, managed frugally. We practiced delayed gratification, and we had focus. My wife, that she likes that word, focus. Focus on whatever you are doing. Focus on your own life. Don't be distracted. That time, Christianity has not come to this level of extorting money from people. We had very considerate and responsible Christian leaders. So one thing that helped us was that we had good models in people like Obiakarije West, brother and sister Chinyere Imat and Chinyere Okorie, brother, now I don't know whether it's a bishop, Samuelson. It was Chikeze Wamelako, brother Chuma Okorafo, all kinds of people. Jude Hemere and the wife, Sister Esther, I think I'm right. We had Bishop B.C. Edohasin, and later, before that, we had Dan Akonye, we had Felix Aihe. These were models and mentors. And then we had the fear of God. And that helped me greatly to have maintained fidelity to my wife. If not, one was tempted. But when you see people say, instead of me to commit, if God knows I will commit adultery tomorrow, let him kill me today. Those were statements I was hearing from my pastors. And I was seeing my mentors, they were living, the models we had, they were living very decently with their wives. Was this my fine brother's name? I'll remember it. Living decently with their wives. They acted as models for us. Not today, you just hear of adultery anyhow. A.K. Elder, A.K. Eliayon Onuma with Vero Onuma. We had these models that were there for us. And for me, marrying early was advantageous to me. But the challenges were enormous. And I was willing with my wife to confront them. And I lived in a good town, Aba, with very supportive people who helped me to go through a lot of the challenges. I had people like Elder Nico Nwogugu, who had a petrol station in the beginning of Opobo Road, opposite Royal Hospital. We had all kinds of people at Aba that were wonderful people. Thank God I married early. Thank God I was posted to Aba. Thank God for the lifestyle of the Igbo man, the spirit of enterprise, the spirit of frugality. Then there was no conspicuous display of wealth as we are seeing with young men today. So the choice is yours. If you can face the challenges, marry early. If you have career prospects that you need to pursue, you can delay it. If there is no spouse yet, or the choice is difficult, wait, maximize your life, mature well before you get married. This is part 1 of the video. Part 2, I will share with you. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. We have a webinar coming up in February. It is tagged Overcoming Frustration and Stagnation in Life, Career, and Business. I think it will be very interesting. Send a message to +234 8021219262. Remember, what helped us was that we focused on our lives. We did not compare ourselves with others. There were a lot of flamboyant marriages, flamboyant people all around. But we knew where we came from, we knew where we were going to, we knew where we were, and we knew what we needed to do to get to where we are. There's a place called there. You will reach there. Dare to walk alone. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. Send a message to +234 8021219262. It will register you for the webinar. And remember, we have properties for sale. Also send a message to +234 8021219262. God bless you.